This video has been brought to you by Computer Solutions R Us. Phil and his team hooked me up with a great computer, and I know they can do the same for you. Whether you need a computer repair, brand new computer, whatever you need, all your answers are over there. Go check out the link in the description box below and tell them Drew at Artistic Gamer sent you.
Hey, what's up everybody? It's Drew with Artistic Gaming 28, and today we're in the beautiful countryside of the UK with Forza Horizon 4. So first off, a big shout out and a thank you to Microsoft and Xbox for sending us a review code of Forza Horizon 4. Thank you to them. That allows us to obviously get a hold of the game early and release it with the embargo. And the premise that I've played a lot of this game. It is a great experience to be back in the world of Forza Horizon. My preferred Forza, as I'm not much of a motorsport because I'm just gonna grind into that wall every single time. Horizon though, we're back for the Horizon Festival. It is a party and we're in the UK. I think that's the biggest difference this time, coming from Australia to the UK, as well as seasonal changes. The fact that now, not only are we racing in the summertime, but now we're racing in autumn, winter, spring, like it's all there. It sounds a little mundane and a little boring, but honestly, the impact that the seasons have when you're driving within the game is one of the coolest aspects of Forza Horizon 4. Now, when I did one particular race I did in the summertime, it was pretty dry, it's really dry, no rain, no water, no nothing. And I completed the race, had a great time, and then I did the exact same race in the fall. Autumn season hit, everything changes, the leaves are now that bright orange, red color, they're on the ground. The dirt itself is now more of a thick, impactful, full of water. It's a heavy mud now that you're traveling through. So not only go do one race and then do the exact same race but with a different season actually made a huge difference. The rain is hitting the screen. Not only is it hitting the cars and reflecting off the cars, but it's hitting the screen. When you hit through a puddle, the gravitational pull that you get, and it pulls the underbody of your car down when you drive through this puddle. You get one speed going and then it hits this puddle and it just sucks you into this huge puddle and then you take off. But when you hit that puddle, it's a huge splash. Everything then splashes onto the screen. It is incredible. When that first experience I had when I hit the puddle, I know from driving, obviously when you hit a puddle, it's gonna kind of give you that pull. But when it hit me playing the game, that was just, it's one of those touching moments when you know that the developer actually cares enough to focus and kind of fine tune the little things. All right, so it's no secret that Playground Games has a graphical team of powerhouses behind them when it comes to something like this. Cars are always the staple of a next-gen system. So does it really compare to the last Horizon 3 versus this? Again, Playground nails every car to a T. It is spot on. The graphics are intense. The world itself, from the way the sun reflects through the mountains, the shadow hits the road, the water splashes up. It is probably one of the most beautiful looking games I've seen to date. So when it comes to the world of Forza Horizon 4, it's not actually the biggest map, which I know some people go, well, this is an open world driving game, why is it so small? It's not small, but it's not huge either. Now the way they play with this is because of the seasonal changes that I touched on earlier, has such an impact on the world that you're driving in, that though the map is one size, but when you drive it in the summertime, driving around versus autumn and winter, it actually changes that map experience. So yeah, you get familiar to the roads, the routes, everything you're playing in and driving through, but when you get that subtle change of the actual seasons, that's where the map actually opens up. So you can almost consider it having 4 different maps in the same map. Sounds a little odd, but that's how impactful that these seasonal changes really do have on the map. Okay, so my biggest gripe with the game is the actual cutscenes. I know the game is outstanding. Everything so far has been great, positive. But when it comes to the actual cutscenes and they introduce characters with your character, it doesn't really gel. It doesn't mesh. Everything else is at such a high pedigree that when we introduce these characters who are setting up the next race, well, great, we need you to go do this stunt over here. We need to go race over there, which is great. You need to kind of have that transition from one scene to the next, but the acting in it is so stiff. The models look so rigid. They almost look plastic My own personal character has no life to him whatsoever. It's extremely disappointing when the game is at this high a level to introduce a cutscene that just takes you right out of the experience. Pretty disappointing. If they just polish that for the next Horizon, introduce a huge story aspect instead of the Horizon Festival again, I think that would be pretty cool. It'd be a nice change. But the characters need a lot of work. They're stiff, their hair is stiff, their animations are stiff, their arms are rigid, they almost look plastic-like. Oh, I was just taken back from that whole portion of the game. But the minute I start driving again, you forget about that and you move on. You buy your own home, which is pretty cool, which allows you then to fast travel through certain parts of the map. That stuff is really nice. The ability to fast travel instead of driving from one side all the way to the other is great. Okay, so my overall experience with Forza Horizon 4 has been a fantastic time. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of the game. There's nothing wrong with that because they have a huge pedigree to follow, and year after year, how do you iterate on that? Every 2 years is a brand new Horizon game, and the opposite year is the Motorsport series. So to switch those out after year is pretty cool. I'm more of the arcade style, so this really suits me pretty well. And they have enough with, I think, the change in the map and the seasonal appearances and changes in the dynamic of the weather that it actually is a huge iteration from Horizon 3. Obviously moving from Australia, which is a pretty cool place, to the UK, which is something I've never really experienced a lot of. You don't get a lot over there in the UK as far as a world to drive around in or play in. So this is really cool to see some of this countryside that I've never really seen or taken an interest in before. So this was fun. I absolutely love the game. If you're a driving fan at all, you cannot go wrong with Forza Horizon 4. Overall, I'm going to give the game a 9. Alright, hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, hit that thumbs button, hit the subscribe button. I have a lot more content coming and a couple big, very big announcements in the future. And don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28. Until next time, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.